What is going on, guys? JuDoSloTh here. I've been in the clan Beer Goggles for the Hard Cider and Healers event. I have a full recap here for you. I will have featured attacks and times on the video in the description below if you do want to skip ahead. So grab yourself a cider, sit back and relax and enjoy the raids. So just before we start, huge thank you to Beer Goggles again for hosting this event. Another fun-packed war. I was in the Pints and Pecker event a few months back. There's a link in the top right there now if you want to check that out. And keep an eye out for the next event, which is the Gulps and Golems. That's going to be in January. Their website is on the screen there now. Go check that out and stay tuned because they will release an application form for you to apply. So the Hard Cider and Healers event. Rules were simple. You had to use 4 healers, so a lot of queen walks. Your first attack, you had to hit your own number. So here's my first attack. I am going to try and feature a lot of different strategies, lots of great attacks. Honestly, there was so many to show, but for my first one, I chose to hit it with the Mass Witch attack. So you may have seen this strategy before, the Royal Witchcraft. My queen is going for a nice little walk at the top there. I've broken in at the bottom and I have a golem and a few wizards going in. I'm going to then reinforce that with my king, and then the witches come straight through the middle into the core. That is if you bring a jump spell. I can't believe I left my jump spell behind. This was being live streamed at the start of the war as well. What a great start for me. So at this point I was basically banging my head against a wall. It's going quite well actually. The queen has got pretty much full health at the top there. So is the king. They're taking out either side. I've still got lots of witches up, but obviously they're getting stuck on that wall and the inferno is just wiping them all out. If the jump spell was there, skeletons would have been in. They'd at least crushed that town hall in the core. But honestly, the way things are going with my heroes either side with good health, if the skeletons were in front distracting the fire for them witches instead of them getting taken out, and we were able to push in and distract some of them defences, I would have definitely got a high percentage 2-star, maybe pushing the 3-star. Bit optimistic, but never mind, we won't forget that jump spell next time. Certainly not what we wanted to be streamed live across the internet. And I was so frustrated that I had to just cook up the same army and wreck a different base with it. So the best option by the time I came to attack on my second one was to take their number 4, this base, very similar base, a bit more tricky with them mortars in the walls, but we can get the strategy to work because there are gaps in between the walls of the mortar and the core, so it's not going to affect my troops going around the side and helping to pick up that 50%. Starting out, we're basically going to do exactly the same. I used a couple of Quake spells just to soften up that core. Didn't have to worry about clan castle troops because we matched a farming clan. But at least they put some decent bases on. There were the odd one that were kind of scattered around. But anyway, we're going to do exactly the same. I've used my Quakes to soften up the core a bit. Got my queen in at the top right. Golem and a few wizards at the bottom left. Where I wanted to reinforce that with my king. Did put him in a little bit late. In with the witches through the middle. And I'm holding off with that rage because I know there's a giant bomb there. I want the skeletons to set that off and not lose my witches. And there is the almighty in all of its glory, the jump spell. If only we'd had that last time. In it goes. Lets them troops get access to that multi-inferno so we can take that out. Gonna rage the troops through that and also popping a freeze on it. And like I was saying at the start, this one's a bit more tricky because of them walls around the mortars. Our troops on the side haven't been effectively able to take the buildings out, so it's causing the witches to split off a little bit. Still got plenty of them going into the core, reinforcing them with another rage spell, but they're going down rather quickly. I don't think we're going to get the town hall with the witches. Queen is still holding back, doing a good job though. We're on to 49%. She's on to the town hall. Absolutely brilliant. Should have pressed her cloak now because the healers aren't healing her with the Inferno Tower. At the time I was thinking she's got lots of health. Let's just let her weaken the town hall before we press it. But never mind, we got the 2-star anyway, and at least we didn't have another complete epic fail. So before we get on to some 3-stars, let's go and check out the attack against their number 1, which was a nice 2-star by Tait from One Hive. He does the Saturday Night Hive podcast. Anything we talk about in this video, there's going to be links in the description, so go check that out. I highly recommend listening to it. Great show. He actually had one of our members from the Rising Family clans on a couple of episodes ago, Daddy, who you may have seen on YouTube. But anyway, let's get into this Town Hall 11 attack. He started from the very north of the base in terms of the healers. He has one on the golem, which is being targeted by the eagle artillery, and the rest of them on his queen to clear out some of the buildings at the top there. He also has his Grand Warden in, giving all of them troops a boost with its aura. and he has a few troops on the sides creating his funnel whilst the defences are being distracted. In with another golem just to help reinforce things, and he's breaking open that wall with these wall breakers. But that queen has taken down the expo in that compartment, and it's forced all of his golems to actually redirect around the side. Since he's got that compartment open, they've actually now gone into the cannon, but the gold mine on the left there has caused his witches to steer off to the left a little bit. He is going to be able to correct that. His queen is slowly moving in towards the centre. He's popping earthquakes in just to soften up the core, and there's his jump spell, making sure he gets that town hall down. He's starting to get a lot of troops in there, rage spell down just to help them. The healers have moved off the queen. I'm not sure what they're targeting now. Maybe that's a golem, but she's not going to need it. She's onto the town hall, and he still has her royal cloak left. So that's going to go down. And he also has the Grand Warden's invincibility. Look at that. Forgot about that. Being a measly Town Hall 10 now. I'm not used to having everything maxed. But anyway, that's gone down. He's getting up to the 50%. Any minute now he's going to get the 2-star. He's got witches on the bottom, troops in the middle. There it is. Nice 2-star, I thought. I know you're pushing for more Tait, but I don't think we're going to be in any issue with this clan, because Tait was nice enough to have his Town Hall out. I think we had about 20 of them back to back. I don't know, something like that anyway. It seemed like attacking him for his Town Hall in that loot. Anyway, let's get across to some other attacks. This one is from Bobby the Boss. Beautiful attack right at the start of the war as well, so this will have been on the live stream. Quick shout out to his clan, which is Ice Bears from the Bear family. Started off his Queen Walk in the very north, and he's popped that minion on the top right just to get that free building whilst she's distracting and make sure that she goes where he wants her to, which is right down the bottom left of this base. He's going to take out that air defense, a bit too close for comfort I guess on the healers, but he is going to come in with a Lavaloon if you look at his troops, so he's bringing that into account as well. Once the queen gets down towards the western side of the base, he's then going to start reinforcing with his golems and his king and go in after that enemy queen, and you'll see there's another air defense there he can get as well. All is going well at this point. He's got his first golem in, breaking that wall, allowing the queen access, and she now is getting reinforced with other troops. So beautiful, going really well at this point. You can see the destruction that that queen has caused right down that entire left hand side. In with the jump spell, that lovely jump spell, he remembered to bring it. Unlike some, that gave them access to that compartment. Enemy queen's already down and he's waiting for his troops to get over to that air defense. Waiting patiently with the queen's ability as well, because he wants that inferno tower down. He doesn't want that messing with his Lavaloon. It'd be much better if he just has the one. He's coming in with the air portion now. Lava hounds come from different angles for different air bombs and also distracting the defenses. A nice surgical deployment of his balloons. So he's going to wait a couple of seconds just while the balloons start to take them outside defenses down. Once that happens, he's coming in with another lava hound towards the next air defense so he can bring in his balloons from that right hand side as well. He's then froze the multi-inferno. You'll see he's got both air sweepers there as well. Beautiful. And then he's popped his rage down to try and get that multi-inferno as quick as he can. That's the main issue at this point on this raid. Balloons are still going strong, and you'll see, look at that queen. She's still at full health. Brilliant. She's going to help to clean up them troops as well. And at this point, it is looking pretty grim for the defender. Nice attack. He still has a lava hound up as well. That's tanking for that archer tower. That's not going to bust, but he has a couple of minions and wizards which he's going to spread around the side and easily pick up the 100%. So beautiful attack, Bobby. Well done. And let's move on to the next one. So like I say, trying to keep a bit of variety. This one is from Player or Backwards Player. I don't know what he's getting at, but anyway, he can play a Clash of Clans. Check out this awesome attack. Double giant bombs in the middle there. He's pretty confident of that. So he's got his queen coming in from the east side with his walk. There's his healers as required by the event. And then he's using a GoHo style strategy, coming in through the bottom to try and get them giant bombs and obviously the queen. And this one does have clan castle troops. Some of the 9s did. Jump spell is going to give his troops access into the middle there and try and let them spread out and take a good portion of that core out. Out comes some measly little wizards. He's going to drop a poison spell on them, and you'll see the golems are splitting off nicely to them air defenses, and they will start to set off the double giant bombs. As that happens, he's bringing his hogs in from the top right, and quite a nice compact lot of defenses at the top there. So he has a heal, and he's just going to let the hogs move through that, keeping the troops in the center alive as well. Queen still has full health. She's just gonna move through and take out some of them empty buildings. Air Sweeper pushing the healers back, not that that makes any difference. Hogs are starting to go down. He has a poison on the remaining skeletons there, but that queen with all of them healers is going to be the pinnacle of this attack. Perfect example of the hard cider and healers. Some nice queen walks on this one. Troops are starting to go down. He's going to use his wall breakers to try and help the queen a little bit. And there's still a fair few defenses left, but nothing that's going to affect the queen getting healed. And he does have the minions coming around the side. He still has that rage spell, so he's going to rage the healers and the queen there. I would have maybe had that other spell, that rage spell, swap that out for a heal spell to help with them hogs, but it's not going to matter. Nothing's going to touch his queen. His minions are taking out some of the cannons as well, and as we fast forward through, you will see that he never even used that rage spell. It didn't matter. His queen is still at full health from the start of the raid. Amazing attack and a nice 3-star. So nice use of the hogs. There were some brilliant hog attacks actually, too many to show. Moving on to the next one, this is Absolutgamer, and this anti-3-star base, what a clump of a mess. I mean, when you first look at this, it's just stuff all over. Where do I begin? He's going to open up the entire middle compartment with earthquake spells there though, and actually when I was watching this, you can see how much he's going to gain from that. Took out a few free snipes with minions on the left hand side, and then he's coming in from the bottom left with his queen walk, and he's going to move around and reinforce that from the bottom with some golems and wizards. And once that's done, you'll see he's just going to let them sit there and let the wizards take out them storages with high hit points, then brings his jump spell in as his queen moves a bit closer and his king along with some witches to reinforce, and they're going to get right into that town hall, take that out, and then you will see they will nicely move forward towards the air sweeper in the middle of the base and spread out from there. Couple of wizards in this one as well, so he is going to pop his poison spell in. And then he's used his remaining spell, which is his haste, to basically push his troops forward to the defences on the opposite side. Lots of defences clumped in that one little area. Obviously the defender was hoping to take out a lot of troops there. He has managed to push through it and he's moving forward. Queen is still on full health and he still has all of his healers up. Once the king targets the enemy king, he's going to press the iron fist and he just pushes straight through the middle of that base. In with some balloons surgically to take them archer towers out, and I really like the use of that jump spell on the back. Just gives his troops access to all them different compartments. It means that the golems can stay ahead, obviously targeting the defences, and keep the rest of his cleanup troops nice and safe. Has a couple of wizards cleaning up round the opposite side, and you'll see he's still got a couple of golems in, and at this point there is not too much more for him to worry about. Damn giant bomb does get his queen down. I think the archer tower would have got her anyway, but not to worry. He's got lots of troops. Air skeletons there just chilling out over the top of them golems. You'll see once they get through though, it's a race to take down that mortar and clean up for the 3-star. So great attack by Absolutgamer, and let's move on to the next. So this one is by Larz, and this is towards the end of the war. And I just really like the way that he set this attack up and went about it. It was completely different to other stuff that I had seen. He's starting with his queen walk from the left hand side of the base, obviously towards that air defense. And you'll see two of them together there near the clan castle. He's able to put one quake spell in and then 2 lightning spells on both of them to take that out. Queen is then taking out that 3rd air defense, but that's not enough. He wants that 4th one as well, so he's got the queen walking around the entire upper part of the base, and she's going to finish up perfectly on the 4th air defense, and just for good measure, take out the enemy queen as well. And if you look at his army composition, you will see that he is then going to hit this base with mass dragons once that 4th air defense is out, so the only real thing that will cause them any bother are the archer towers. The air sweepers, obviously a bit of a pain, but they're not going to do any damage. Queen is still making her way around to the archer towers on the right, so what Larz is going to do is bring a lava hound in his clan castle, then follow that by dragons on the left in order to try and get them 3 archer towers down. You'll see he has a couple of balloons aimed towards the northern archer tower. Did have one of them go down to an air bomb. I'm sure he wasn't expecting that, but it's not going to be an issue. The dragons have plenty of health. Couple of wizards kind of spreading around. You'll see that onto the healers on the top there. Queen is just going to get that down. The healers have a smidge of health. He then has another couple of balloons for that northern Tesla, which is a brilliant idea because when the dragons get caught up on the town hall, that air sweeper is just going to be pushing them back. But them air bombs are causing him a nightmare here. Takes another balloon out, so they're not going to get that Tesla down. And you can see there the air sweeper pushing the dragons back. Teslas took one of them out, but they're just out of range of it. His spell is going to hopefully help push them forward, but it's not going to improve their attack speed at all. That Tesla's going down. You'll see he's still got plenty of dragons. I mean, with no air defenses, he's going to get this base. It's just going to take a little while for the dragons to move through. Does have a couple of wizards to help with cleanup, but you'll see once he'd set the base up and did that lovely queen walk, it was perfectly set up for the dragons to just clean up the rest. So great attack. Moving on to the next one, we have Beast Mode on Full. He's coming in with the hogs for this one and going to go beast mode on this guy. Draws out the castle troops because there were some wizards in there, takes them out with a poison spell, and then he's going to start from the northwest and put his healers in on the giants. So a little bit different. Creating his funnel with his wizards, and he's going to let the giants go in. He's obviously going after the enemy queen there, and there's some spaces in the middle by the town hall, possibly quad Teslas, I would assume they are, but you can see that the rest of the base is nice and compact and perfect for the hogs. He's then going to follow in with his heroes, and what I really like is it's almost perfectly set up. Once the giants kind of split off there to each defense, the healers are going to move on to the queen. So a brilliant rage spell encompassed everything in there to help all of the troops get through. And you'll see that it is quad Teslas in the core, so he's letting his queen do a little bit more damage and letting the giants move forward just a little bit more to start distracting some extra defenses, and then he's going to bring the hogs in from the right hand side. You'll see the giants perfectly distracting the cannons and the archer towers up there, so the hogs can come in and move freely with no worry about giant bombs. And you'll see he has a couple of heal spells to just heal them right through, and they're just going to move perfectly from one side to the other in a nice clockwise fashion, taking out all of them defenses whilst the healers are still on the queen so she can move forward and take out all of the extra trash. Obviously she can help with some of the defenses as well, and you'll see that he does have a couple of wizards which he's now going to start spreading around the outside just to help with time and take all of that out. So hogs are slowly going down, but more than enough, and a great use of them around the side of that base. He's still got one heal spell which he's going to use on them defenses right at the bottom just to make sure they're okay, and then he's popping in the wizards down there to clean up once the hogs have obviously started distracting the defenses in that region. So brilliant attack, very easy and comfortable 3-star. Like I say, there was a lot of good attacks. Last couple of hog attacks I've showed you coming into the centre of the base and then kind of flanking down the side with a pack of hogs. This next one is again a hog attack by Rue, but this time he's going to use his queen walk, then come into the centre with his golems, but be just a little bit more surgical on the back end with the hogs. So let's get into this one. Starting out, he's going to initiate his funnel and take out a couple of them free buildings with the minions just because he can, and his queen is coming in again from the northwest. She's going to start taking out some of them defenses and then move around to the top right of the base. Obviously a lot of defenses shooting at the queen all at once there, but instead of using her ability, he used the rage spell on not only the queen but obviously the healers as well to get her healed up. That's going to allow him to save her ability for when she engages the enemy queen, and probably the king at the same time actually. You'll see that on this one, the wizards in the clan castle actually managed to take down his healers, so they're not on the queen anymore, but luckily she's round to that area already, so she did her job and she's now getting tanked by the golems and the other troops. Jump spell is going to allow them access to the core in order to take down them heroes, but also there's no gaps in the core so they can hopefully get in and take that out. And then he's bringing in his hogs from the back end. Obviously a bit more surgical on this one, puts around 3 on each defense on that compartment to the right, so he takes the 2 archer towers and the wizard tower, uses a heal as they start to converge, and then when the defenses on the left start firing at that initial layer of hogs, he can then bring his next wave in on that left hand side, has another heal spell in around about the same spot. Obviously there was a giant bomb going off, but you'll see the hogs are starting to converge together, and now there's not actually many defenses left. So in the end, a nice comfortable raid, well executed with that surgical use of hogs. Why I wanted to bring you this one. So great attack, Rue. You'll see that his queen is clinging on with the smidgenest of tiniest bits of health, but she has survived the entire raid, and he's going to wrap up the 3-star. Moving on, we've had a couple of nice hog raids there, so we'll move back to a Lavaloon, I believe, next. This one is by Big Lou, who comfortably takes out this base, and you'll see I wanted to bring you this one because it's quite well planned out again, as they all were. Like I say, lots of good attacks, but he brings in the Earthquake and opens up that entire compartment where there's the enemy queen and 3 air defenses. And obviously if he can get that, he's perfectly set up his Lavaloon. So he has a couple of minions again, just taking out snipes, and he's bringing in his queen from the southern west part, and she's going to move, since he's used that minion on the top to help with funneling, she's going to move down to the most southern part of the base, where he will then reinforce with his other troops to help push in towards them 3 air defenses. Once she starts getting to that region, instead of obviously allowing the arch towers to lock onto the queen, he puts the golems in first, wizards nicely creating the funnel, and you'll see once he's bust that open with the wall breakers, everything is going to push straight in to take out them air defenses. A rage spell and a heal spell is going to help all them troops through that tricky part where there's the defending heroes, there's the clan castle. They're going to get in there and take all of that out and then spread nicely to each air defense, obviously waiting very patiently. He doesn't want his lava hounds to be spurring off to different air defenses. He obviously wants to steer it to the one which is not within that compartment of the 3 of them, and then bring his balloons in. So as he's waiting of his troops taking out them remaining 2 air defences, he pops a lava hound in, cutting right across in order to start distracting some of the defences on that side and checking for bombs, and then he can surgically bring in his balloons, then cutting in a lava hound from the north part of the base because them remaining air defences are down. He knows it's going to steer to the correct air defence. But to be honest, either way he was fine. Even if he'd put it in when them initial 2 air defences to that northeast part were still up, it would have actually protected his balloons from the archer towers on that right hand side, but it's not going to matter. He's wiped out this entire base, nice and comfortable. Great attack by Big Lou. Moving on to the next attack, we're moving down to their number 33, and this one is by Beast, who was in spirit when he did this, drinking a cider. He kept it simple, more of a mass hog attack this one, but he made sure to keep the principles of that right and take advantage of the weaknesses of this base, which is why I thought you might want to see it. So an easy castle lure, took the wizards out easily with a poison, and you'll see the queen standing right over the edge there. He can walk his queen along, taking out a number of defences with that, and then take out the enemy queen. That means he's then got the castle troops out the way, the queen out the way, and perfectly setting up his hog attack. Down on the bottom there, I'm kind of missing it, but the king is easily exposed as well, so he's just going to take that out with his king. Nice and easy. Couple of wizards in order to take out some of them outside buildings, and he has used a few hogs in order to surgically take out them defences on the bottom there, because there's lots of gaps, and that is why it's almost a bit of a southern teaser, wanting the attacker to come in through the bottom, but Beast is not going to fall for it, and by doing that, now that he's brought his main pack of hogs in on the right hand side, they're going straight to the core where he has the heal, but they're not even going to track towards the double giant bomb sets down there. They're just going to move right through the centre of the base and out to the other side where the back end defences are. Another heal spell for that. So a perfect setup in order to just bring the hogs straight through the middle. The queen took out the defences on the top, surgically used hogs on the bottom for the remaining pack of hogs to run straight through the middle. And I just thought it was a nice attack. So you can see just how many spare troops he has left over and spells which he is going to use to great effect on the Dark Elixir. So take that, number 33. So again, nice attack, Beast. Moving on to the next one. This one is by Severus against their number 35, and this is again a Lavaloon style attack. First things first, he's going to draw the castle troops, take that out with a poison, and then zap Quake one of the air defences. He's then going to come in for another air defence, that's the northeastern one, with his queen, in order to start setting up the Lavaloon. So the angle that he put his queen in means that she's going to walk down towards the right in a clockwise motion. Once she's took that air defense out, she's actually going to nip over and get the archer tower and wizard tower while she's at it as well, which is great. Then coming in with the golems and the wizards on the southeast, but bit of a nightmare with them wall breakers. That one spring trap flung them all into the air, so he's going to have to let them get through the wall by themselves. Not an issue, he basically just wants that air defense and the enemy queen down, which he's easily going to get now. And as soon as that's down, he can then start his Lavaloon attack. So we have the single air defense there, and he's cutting across a lava hound with his balloons behind, nice and surgical in order to get that. Follows that up with a rage spell because there's a lot of defenses in that region. Starts to cut another lava hound across from over by the north, and just as it gets right to the initial layer of defenses, the air defense goes down, so it just stops there, continues to tank for them defenses. So absolutely perfect, really. Balloons continue to move forward. You'll see there's lots left, not many defenses left, and he still has his healers on his queen, and before you know it, this base is gone. Has a couple of wizards cleaning up around the edge as well, so another great 3-star. So lots of great hog attacks and Lavaloon examples if you're wanting to try them at Town Hall 9. Let's move on to the next one, which is by Stimulatives, using the redheads, one of my favourite troops, the Valkyrie themselves. So he's starting his queen walk on the bottom. Again, this is the hard cider and healers event, so mainly we saw queen walks, just the odd variation. I'll show you one of them next, but we're going to start wrapping things up because we're getting to around about the half-hour mark. So he has his queen coming in from the left, golem and wizards in from the right. Brilliant use of a couple of hogs there to take out that cannon. They're also going to get a couple of other things just because the defences are being distracted by the Valks. They've came in with the king and they're moving towards the enemy queen. He has the jump spell beautifully placed in order to get them into them initial compartments and then obviously over towards the middle of the base. He's going to help the Valks with a heal because they're nice and tanky troops, but he's just going to help them through that compartment where they're under a lot of fire. There was the enemy queen, there was the giant bombs. Uses another jump spell in order to push them even further forward with another heal, and you will also see that he's been surgically bringing in a couple of hogs around the side just to keep the Valks on track through the middle and limit the amount of firepower coming in on them. If they're distracting the defences, he can obviously easily bring in the hogs to take them out. Doing that again on the top there as well, and you'll see the queen has slowly been just walking around the side, taking them defences out. And then following surgically deploying the hogs around the edges, we are only left with a few defences in the middle, which is not going to be an issue because he still has the odd hogs, the Valks, the king, the queen, just about everything in there to clean up the rest of this base. So another well executed Town Hall 9 3-star attack. Nice job, Stimulatives. Just before we wrap up, I think we have time for one more. This one is a Goblin walk. Never mind the queen, never mind all them other troops, we don't need them. They're just looking on for moral support. And since the goblins are so quick and the healers are so slow, we're actually going to lose one. But his friend is there for redemption. He's going to single-handedly take down this base so long as he has his healers. Obviously he's going to take out the loot buildings first before he goes back for that cannon, but it is not strong enough to take him out so long as he has the healers on him, or 2 healers anyway. I don't know what them 2 at the back are doing. Again, they're just looking over for moral support, I guess. You don't need us. Crack on and get the 3-star. So that wraps up your recap for the Hard Cider and Healers event hosted by Beer Goggles. Again, big thank you to them guys. Another fun-packed event. Nice to meet so many new people. Hope to see you again at the next one. And remember to keep an eye on their website. You can also follow them on Twitter. Anything I've referenced to in the video you will find links to in the description. Keep an eye out for their next event, which is the Gulps and Golems event in January. I hope to see some of you guys there. I've been your host JuDoSloTh, and until next time, peace out guys. Stay tuned for more Clash of Clans.